Hello, this is the tutorial for the BOUJEE template. Um, Fairly simple template, other than these background icons. These are using a ton of smart layers. Actually, it's only 4 smart layers, or 5, sorry, and they're duplicated to just create this pattern here. So we'll get into it. I'm going to swap this out for a volleyball player for another school, kind of see how that works. But first I'll go through each layer here and kind of show you what they're doing. So this first folder says bottom text. So obviously this bottom text area. Turn it off, on. I'll zoom in a little bit here. You got your text layers, which is literally just the text. It's got like this effect on it to make it look like it's stamped into the leather. You can change the colors here. Let's see, next we have the patches, which are these two little patch areas here. You have stitching for the inside patch here. You can change colors on that as well. Let's see, this is for the actual patch texture. And then here is just the color. So you'll kind of be changing the color of it to whatever you want here. And then we go to this outer patch here, same 3 layers. You got your stitching, the actual texture to it, which shouldn't be having to change anything here, and then the actual color of that one as well. If you want, you can actually turn off the outer one, just have a simple single patch, or vice versa. You can turn off the inside one and just leave the outside. So if you don't like the stacked look, you can just use one or the other. Obviously up here is the exact same stuff, so that's where you're going to see top text. Here you have the subject, pretty self-explanatory. Just drop subject into here. Let's see here, background. We'll skip that for now. This is just your texture layer. Let's see, for your leather. Turn that on or off. So honestly, if you don't want the leather look at all, you can just kind of go with that. And then obviously your background color. You can change it to whatever you want. So most of the editing you're going to be doing is going to be within this background icons and the patches, like changing colors and text and stuff. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Let's just get right to it. So I have my move tool selected, and you'll see me with the other tutorials I do. I'm constantly going back and forth between this auto select. So I want to turn it on for now. Just going to click my subject here, and you see that's selected. I'm just going to drag in this one just for tutorial purposes. Let's see. Just going to switch this over to volleyball. I like coming just above the knees for this size ratio. Bring it down a little bit more. Cool. All right, now I'll turn that back one off. For this school, another thing I like to do for all of my, when I'm changing things out like this, I'll go in and grab this school's logo, just to sample colors if I need to. I'm just going to keep it right here on the very top, and I'll probably turn it on and off a lot. All right, so first thing I like to do with this design is just immediately go to the background. This school's colors is white and blue and black and gray are kind of their accent colors. So I'm going to come in and just maybe do a gray. You can grab this blue if you want. I feel like it's a little too strong for this look. If you like the blue, go for it, or for whatever your school is. For this one, I'm just going to go with a gray. Since she's in all black anyway, I might even do like a dark gray. And let's do like a medium, like right in here. All right, easy enough. We'll come back and we'll copy this color here in a little while when we come to these patches. So now I'm going to, let's go into the background icons. We'll get this out of the way. This is going to be the hardest part for a lot of you. And you'll see you got these 5 master layers. That's all you'll need to mess with. This do not touch. This is just like 100 copies of these master layers. So I recommend just keeping that closed. There's no reason to ever need to open that. School logo. We're going to click right here. It's going to open it up in its own document here. I was just using this. We're going to drag it back over. This is their logo. And this is where you're just going to do a lot of trial and error. Just get in here and play with it. I'm going to turn this bottom one off. I recommend going in, I'm trying to remember where it's at, and turn snap on. What that's going to do is when you're moving that around, you'll see it kind of snap to the middle. Then when I'm moving it up and down here, it kind of snaps right there, dead center. That's going to help center it here, here, when you save it. So that's what I want to do, Command or Control S to save. It's going to take it a minute because it's updating all of those copies of this layer. And then move back over here and you see where I have that logo there now. That's about the size I want it. I've already done this several times with the school, so I already know that's about the size I wanted it at. Before we move further, let's go ahead and go in and right here under the background icons, you see the color overlay. I'm going to click that. This is where I'll probably grab this blue right there. Or you could just go with the white. Or just, I'll rarely go like just white. I'll kind of come right down here. Just a really light gray. But I think for this one, for tutorial purposes, I'm just going to grab this blue. I might desaturate it just slightly. Alright, and I'm going to go all the way to the top and cut that one off. I'm going to come back down here to my master layers within the background icon folder. We just did the school logo. As you see, it's all way out here as well. And I'll show you why in a minute. Right now the text. Right now I have the EL for this East Lincoln High School. Now we're going to change it here. I'm simply just going to, I'm just going to grab this E and change it to an N. Very simple to do. Control S to save that. Now let me show you here. If your school has 3 letters, or you can add as many as you want in here. Just grab your text tool and then the included fonts that are with this. You'll just use this one and type out whatever you want. Here, let's hide both of these. Just going to grab a new layer and let's just, I don't know, I'm just going to make some stuff up. R, I'll say OK. I'm going to grab another, and then H. Whoops. Grab my text tool. H. It did not work as planned. Hold on. Here we go. H. So you can kind of get them. Grab your move tool. I still have auto select on. Position it wherever you want. All I did was Command or Control T and right click and do skew. I just kind of grab that middle box there and kind of shift it a little, and then I just grab the whole thing and kind of bring it in wherever you want. Whatever looks cool. So you can do something like that as well. Command or Control, or sorry, yeah. Command or Control S will save it. If you look here, there it is. I'm going to delete those two. Just turn these on. Command or Control S to save it again. I can close that now because I want to be done. There's my NL. Alright, now this is volleyball, so we don't need the home plate, the bases, or the bats. So this is where you will navigate to this. Let me show you. You go within the BOUJEE folder. You should see this icons PNG. This is included with this template. It's just a bunch of little shapes that you can pick for the background, or go out on the web and grab your own. Very, very easy to find these, or even create them in Photoshop. The bases, the bats, the home plate, I created myself. So very, very simple to do. But if you don't want to do that, you can grab what I have here. So right now, I want to replace that with this star 2. It's really large. So okay, I want to come in. Again, my snap is on, so it's just automatically, you'll watch it here. I'll just snap into place. Bam, right there. I'm going to turn that bottom one off. Save this layer. And now you kind of see that here, where the not home plate, but where the base was. Icon 2, I want to double click that. That's where the bats were. Let me close these other ones real quick. I don't need those anymore. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to open up this folder. For this one, I'm going to bring in, I can get picky and do a lot of trial and error if I want to. But for this tutorial, I'm just going to grab this real quick. It's just another little, like a star or something here. I'll bring that in, and again, I'm making sure it's perfectly centered. You can tell that with the snap. And I'm going to Command or Control S to save that. Give it a minute. And bam, you have these everywhere. Now for the home plate, honestly, with another one I did, I just repeated this one. You can grab like a third icon, or let's just try the outline version of that one, see what that looks like. Bring that in, just snap it to that. Command Control S. And there's that. Actually, I think I prefer this one again. So it's okay to just keep repeating the same icon over and over. Or again, like I said, go in and create your own, or add your own, and bam. This is really simple. Now this one, I might make smaller. Come in here, I'll open it again, Command or Control T. Just going to make it a little smaller, and I'll snap it right dead center, and Command or Control S to save it again. Close this one, close that one. And there it is, just a little small. Now this NL, it looks like it could be shifted over just a little. So I'm going to go to the text. I'll grab both of these layers by holding Command and clicking both. And I'm going to hold Shift and just my arrow key over them. Bring it over a few pixels. Command or Control S again to save it. You can get in here and just really get picky and nitpicky with it. For this tutorial, I'm just going to leave it right there. Actually, I'm not. I want to bring this one. I want to make this one a little bigger. See what that does. There. If I want to get really picky, I'll make it a little bit bigger again, but I'm just going to move forward. You guys get the idea now. Here's the other thing with these. Zoom in on them. If you were to go with a really light background or really dark background with a light icon, you're going to have to get in here to the, just right here on the background icons folder, you'll see these two little boxes here in the FX. Just double click those. And then you'll look down here at the blend if underlying layer. By default, all of these are set at 55. If you want some of that texture from the leather to show through it, so it looks like it's just printed onto the leather, you can move these around. See how that's starting to, that's too light. So we're going to keep it about right here. So this is still working for this look. Let me go in. I am going to go in and just change it real quick so you'll see what I'm talking about. I want to make the background pretty dark. I want to make these icons light. Oh shit, well, it's still working here too. It's almost too light though, so you're about to, let's see, let's go in here. Let's see, and just move it around just a little bit right there. And again, that's just going to kind of show some of that texture layer. All right, I'm going to undo a few times. So when you're getting in here, and if your icons don't look quite right on the leather texture, just play around with that blend if. If you don't mess with the current layer, just this underlying layer. Sometimes you might need to go over here and play with the white side if you want to split those up. Right now, if you try to move them, they're stuck together. You want to split it up, hold the command. Sorry, is it option? Yeah, hold option or alt, and then you can just move those around. I recommend just grabbing that first half first, moving it around, and then if you need to, come grab that second half and play with it. But I've noticed for the most part, I'm just playing with the darker side here. Shouldn't have to mess with it too much, but if certain color combinations, you might have to adjust that just slightly. All right, so that's really it for the background icons. Oh, here's what I was going to show you. So I'm going to turn off my auto select now. So just if you select just the actual folder here, background icons, what you can do, move out, you can kind of move them all around. So if you don't like the layout of where it's at now, you can just grab them, move them, whoops, so weird part of it, and just kind of shift them around. All right, let's see here. Now let's get into the text layers. Let's start with that bottom text. First thing I want to do is scroll all the way down to the background color. I'm going to copy this gray by Command or Control C. And I'm going to scroll all the way back up. Let's see here. Patches. All right. So we're going to go to this inner patch color where it's white. Sorry, we're working on the bottom one. I'm going to double click that. Command or Control V. Or you can just obviously just pick one. I'm just copying the background. That's my preference of what I want to do with this one. And then let me zoom in. Actually, I want to turn that logo back on so I have that color reference. Whoops, sorry. All right, now let's go back to the patches. Turn that on and off, make sure I'm on the right one. So now I'm going to select the stitching color. So we'll make sure I can see the blue there. All right, double click that. The color overlay is what I'm clicking. Click that color swatch, and with my eyedropper tool, I'm just going to grab that blue. By default, these are set at 73. I just thought it looked a little better, just slightly desaturated with that. So I'll move that one up to 80. All right, now the actual text color, let's go ahead and change that. I think I am going to make this like a white, a really light gray. It's right there, and you can kind of see that stamped leather look now with the lighter colors. All right, this team, let's see, while we're here, I'm going to grab my text tool. Let's click within the Mustangs here. Command or Control A to select all, and type in whatever you want. All right, and this is volleyball. All right, so it's going off the edges here a little bit. That's okay. I'm going to click in there, Command or Control A again to select all of it. I'm going to go right here to character. If you don't have that here, it's okay. Click up here in Window, and you'll have it right here. So you can click character, And this VA with the arrows going to each side, that's your spacing. So I'm just going to bring arrow down with that a few times. If you want it to go faster, you can hold shift. Keep it about right there. Same thing right here where I have knights. If you want that spread out more, same thing. Command or Control A to select all of it. You can make it bigger if you want. Or spread out more rather. Alright, let's see. And then in here, she is a senior. You don't have to have the letter or numbers or dates year in there if you don't want to. For this one, I'll take it out and I'll just spread that out more. Then after I do all that with the text, I like to just grab it all by holding down Command and or Control and clicking each one. Then I'll select Move, and then this little icon here, it looks like a Christmas tree that's centering all the text. You saw them all just kind of jump in there together. Now it's all centered. Alright, now we'll move to this back area. Alright, so we did the up close patch first, so now we're going to do that back one. I think I'm just going to turn it blue. So first thing, I'm just going to click that color swatch, grab this blue, and there you go. I want to come back up to the outer patch stitching, color overlay, and I'm going to probably make that like a white or a gray. We'll keep it gray. Something like that. Alright, that's it. I'm going to come down here, grab this again, and do the exact same thing to the upper text now. So, yeah, the top text. I'll scroll to the bottom. I don't know why. I usually find myself working from the bottom up rather than the top down. So I'm going to do that. Let's see. Sorry. That was the wrong one, actually. So I'm going to grab this one, the white one. Change it to the gray. I'm going to come 2 layers up to the inner patch stitching. Double click that color overlay. I'm going to use this blue again. Change that to 80%. I'm going to go ahead and change the text color to that light gray, almost white. And now let's go to the back one. Change this to that blue. Change my color stitching to, what do I do down here, like a medium gray again. Kind of rushing through it just to show you what all it is. If I was doing this for a client, obviously I'd spend a little more time with it and perfect it. Go ahead and change her name. Command or Control A while I still have the text tool in there. I'm going to space this out a little more. Oops, wrong way. Just a little bit. Right there. Cool. And that's really it. After you're done with that, I mean, go ahead and save it. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to go through here, close down all the layers, hide this. Okay, now we can move over to, I have a lot of people asking me questions about how to insert subjects into the team templates. It's extremely easy. You would do it just like you do on this one, honestly. I'm not going to go through and change this whole template again, but I am going to turn my auto select on to select this team. I have them all on one layer at this point, but it's okay. I'm going to show you how to do that very easily. Alright, so I'm going to open up my extracts here, and I'll just use this team actually. So what I like to do for these, I shoot them on a tripod so everybody's you know, if somebody's shorter or taller than the next person, that will carry over when I start inserting them here. So it's kind of true to size when I import them. You don't have to guess who is taller than the next person. So what I like to do to give myself a baseline is literally put a line in here. So I want to Command or Control R. And that's going to bring up these rulers on the side. And up here on this top row, I literally just put my mouse up here and just click, and then I'll drag down, and that will bring a line with you. Or with this template, you could probably just literally use this patch. So I'll use this line, and what I like to do, I'm not going to bring the whole team in. I'm probably these 3 people right here. But normally what I would do is just grab everybody that I want and drag them in. And here they are. They're real big, and that's okay. What I'll do here is up here on the top, you'll see all these axis markers and stuff like that. So right here, your width and height, I'll make sure they're linked, and it says 100%. I'm going to come in and do 25. That's pretty small, so that's okay. I want to change it to, let's do 35. And I'm just going to make sure her feet are touching that line. And she's just got Crocs on. That's okay. And instead of hitting enter or anything else, I'm just going to hit this check mark. I've noticed when I hit enter, I accidentally bring in too many people. Whoops. Let's just do 35 again. And again, you can overlap them a little bit. Click check mark and 35. Sorry. And there we go. That's really it. You want to get in here and put somebody in the front, just grab the layers, move them around. You got auto select on, so it's easy to tell who's who in here by just clicking them, and bam, that person's on that layer. You can drag her up. Usually you'll have this white box if you have it selected in your preferences to show you, or this blue box. And I'll show you kind of when you mouse over it who you're about to click on. Very easy. So I'll grab all of these. I'll click that first one, and then I'll come down to the last one, and I'll hold shift and click that, and it'll grab all 3. And you can bring them down now wherever you want, hide their feet. While you have them all selected, Command or Control T, and you can kind of scale them to whatever size you want. This line will not show up when you print or when you export it, so you can leave it, or you can just drag it back up there, Command or Control R to turn your rulers off. That's really it. I mean, just do this for everybody, and it'll build out your full team. If you got a lot of players, sometimes you can grab these, like these 3 right here are in, I'll put them within a folder. So while they're all selected, I'll click that folder. You have group 1, I'll just say bottom row. So you wanted to bring some more people in. We'll do it real quick just to show you. I'll bring them in here. Let's do 35 again. I already got rid of my ruler, but that's okay. We'll kind of use this patch here as a guide. And I just did what I told you not to do. I double clicked and it did not scale this person. It's okay. I'll select them, Command or Control T. Now we can do 35. Alright, now bring her there. And again, in this situation, we're imagining this whole first row is already full. Now you have a back row that you have. Looks weird. So while you have these 2 girls selected, do that folder again. We'll say top row. Now we're going to drag the top row to the bottom within the layers. So now you have these girls back here. And we can Command or Control T. Hold on. Let me turn off my auto select. Click the actual folder. Command or Control T. They can scale them to be where you want them to be. Now you see their legs. It's going to drive me crazy. So while I have top row selected, I want to grab this mask, put a mask on it, and then I'll come over here and grab the on the gradient tool, and I'll make sure I have black to white selected. And then I'm going to click right here, probably right at the ankle, and drag up. Looks weird because I messed it up. It's okay. So I want to click over here on this mask, Command or Control I to invert that. Actually, for this look, I'll probably start at probably mid-thigh, and I'll come up. Invert it. There we go. Select Move. Now, typically, you'd have these people just kind of a little pack more in, so you wouldn't notice that it's actually, the top row is actually masked out. I want to move, turn my auto select off, move them around. And there you have it. You can just build out the whole row like that. Cool. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to hit me up. Again, there's 10 files in here. They all work identical. This is just how you add the teams in. Same way you would add the individual subject and the individual templates. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Can't wait to see what you create, and hit me up if you got any questions. Thanks.